President Jacob Zuma will make a major announcement at a media briefing in Pretoria shortly, and the ANC centenary flame has been handed over to the Paarl community in the Bowland. I'm Bosisiwa Khatebe with the latest news update. President Jacob Zuma will make a major announcement at a media briefing in Pretoria shortly. Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan and Reserve Bank Governor Jill Marcus are expected to attend the briefing. The announcement will come just 2 days after Zuma's 2012 State of the Nation address, in which he pledged increased infrastructure spending to quicken job creation. The last time the presidency called an emergency briefing was to announce the departure of Lisikya Kganyago as head of the National Treasury to take up the position of deputy governor at the bank. President Zuma says governments should allow labor unions to play a major role in formulating policies that would cushion the impact of the global recession in the labor market. He's been speaking after holding private talks with representatives of the World Federation of Trade Unions at his official residence at Mahlamba Ndlovu in Pretoria.
Unions talk to governments. They will have a role. I think what is important is that there should be an open policy also from governments to listen to the advice and suggestions that the workers would make. There is a role that the workers could play in dealing with the situation of the economic instability, because it impacts on them as workers. So I think governments should be ready to listen, and I'm sure workers have suggestions to make.
Speakers at the funeral of Notusile Bulehluti, the last remaining sibling of former President Nelson Mandela, have described the 82-year-old woman as one of the country's unsung heroines. They say she was among the people who kept the fire burning in the Mandela household while the apartheid regime had incarcerated the former statesman. Delivering a message of support from Madiba, his grandson Mandla says the elder statesman has described the death of his sister as a great loss.
Utatomkhulu uNkosi uDalpo is saddened by the loss, and he says that he has been robbed in some way, in the sense that his younger sister should have been there to conduct his affairs, but it is all in the Lord's hands, and therefore he sends her with well wishes so that they meet in the next life.
And lastly, the ANC centenary flame has been handed over to the Paarl community in the Bowland. The brief ceremony took place in front of former President Nelson Mandela's statue at the entrance to the Drakenstein prison. It coincides with the 27 Freedom Race, marking the release of Madiba from the prison, which was then known as Victor Verster 22 years ago. ANC veteran Chris Nissen says it's befitting to bring the flame to a place where one of the well-known ANC leaders spent his last days as a prisoner. Earlier, thousands of people took part in the race. More than 2,000 children from a number of schools in the Bowland and Cape Peninsula took part in the 5-kilometer fun run. The race started at the house in which Madiba was incarcerated. Catch the latest news anytime here on Newsbreak Option 1.